There's no true way to know whether this was an intentional strategic decision or whether they panicked and it was just a mistake. But once they learned, the government had learned that I had departed Hong Kong, they canceled my passport, which meant I couldn't leave Russia. And I spent the next, 30 days and 30 nights, basically, trapped in this Russian airport, Sheremetyevo, trying to get asylum from, as you said, these 27 different countries, things that Americans wouldn't be particularly concerned with, Germany, France. And every time one of these countries would appear to be leaning towards granting asylum, saying, okay, come here, they would get a phone call from one of two people, then Secretary of State John Kerry, or soon to be possibly, then Vice President Joe Biden. And this is the interesting thing. Why would the U.S. government work so hard to keep me trapped in Russia rather than allow me to go to a jurisdiction where they would be much freer to operate? Imagine you're the director of the NSA or you're the CIA, and you've got this guy out there. He's the person that you hate the most in the world. And you know all your authorities. You know all your incredible powers. You know even the things that I didn't know with all of my access, right? All the ways you can get people. And they go, we really don't like this guy. We really want to do something about him. Would you rather me be in Moscow or literally anywhere else? Right? And so to me, it's very strange that the government worked quite hard to keep me exiled specifically in Russia. And I've always been a little bit, particularly as years have gone by, and you can't explain it away simply as a mistake of policy back then. They've had time to rectify it. They realize that me being in Russia provides them with an evergreen political attack that doesn't have to be explained. It doesn't have to be justified. Simply the association with Russia is enough for them to call into question my character.
And some Americans would say, really? He went to China? And admittedly, it was Hong Kong and different then, and Russia, these two countries, and there was no other way to get to Latin America except through Russia?
Right, certainly. And this was subject of much debate, and it was, again, borne out. There was a lot of public reporting on this back in 2013 when it was contemporary. The reality is you can't fly from Hong Kong, or at least couldn't fly from Hong Kong at the time, to Latin America without crossing U.S. airspace, unless you went the long way around, right? And so then you do this and you have to go, it's a very short list. What are the non-extradition countries to get from Hong Kong all the way over to South America? And again, it's just building a bridge through the air step by step. And, my whole flight manifest at this point has been made public. There were journalists on the flight that I was ticketed for from Moscow to Havana, taking pictures of my empty seat when I was prevented from boarding. And so, this has all been looked into. And it's just, to me, it's frustrating, but it's also interesting because I wonder, if they did this intentionally, if they did this strategically, it was really the most brilliant move they made in terms of communications planning that they could have. I'm not sure we can give them that much credit because it very well could have been a moment of panic. But it is, I think, disappointing that all these years later, they still haven't rectified it.